Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation on the instructional strategies for ELLs with hearing disabilities. In this video, we're going to be looking at a couple of core challenges that students and teachers face. We're going to be looking at a widely regarded instructional strategy to help students of different levels in the everyday classroom. And then lastly, we're going to look at some very specific ideas for helping students with hearing disabilities. Let's begin.
Some core challenge that might be facing ELL students with disabilities and the teachers in schools that they're at. Students may be integrated into classes with normal hearing students or classes with students with different disabilities. Although this improves social communication skills with other students, this can prove to be isolating, or students might feel like they don't have anything in common or things to relate to with other students. Teachers may also lack special training to better help ELL students with hearing disabilities. This can make teachers feel frustrated or feel that they don't have the right knowledge in order to best help their students. Lastly, ELL students with hearing disabilities quite often might be lacking foundational L1 skills. These foundational L1 skills are extremely important when ELL students are learning a second language. There are numerous challenges that teachers will face while in the classroom with an ELL student with a hearing disability. These challenges can be frustrating and tiring for both the student and the teacher. Teachers should look for possible ways to overcome these challenges and be as patient as possible. Some teachers will face challenges such as learning to read facial expressions of the students, being able to tell when they need something, if they've missed something, or they need something repeated. Teachers should remember their body posture, making sure that they are facing the student and not covering their mouth. Being able to deal with the emotions and other social delays that their ELL student with hearing disabilities might be facing. Being sensitive to the student's struggles. Keeping other students in mind while teaching. If an ELL student with hearing disabilities is integrated into a classroom with other students that have normal hearing abilities or other disabilities, teachers need to keep those other students in mind, such as not exaggerating their speech too much or talking too loudly. Finding a balance that helps all students will be a great challenge, but ultimately very beneficial for all students. Lastly, teachers who are teaching ELL students with hearing disabilities or ELL students in general will do more prep work. They will require more things like visual aids, captions, bilingual resources, larger print, etc.
From my personal experience, ELLs with learning disabilities are often included into regular ELL classes. This is where a multi-tiered support system would come in handy. Tier 1 would see teachers giving evidence-based, core-orientated and well-designed instructions targeted at all the students. The ongoing assessment will identify students who are experiencing difficulties. Tier 2 would see targeted intervention that would provide supplement instruction to those students. Interventions should be systematic and sequential and should address student shortcomings. Tier 3 sees more specific interventions aimed at a small percentage of the student population, often individualized, specific, and intensive support.
There's a long list of classroom strategies for ELL students with hearing disabilities. Some of them can include acting out a story together to be able to fully understand the meaning of that story, using pictures with text, matching English text with images, helping students understand the full meaning of caption to picture. Over-dramatized movements, using your body to tell a story or using TPR. The use of translators or mentors in the classroom can also be helpful for teachers who are not familiar with sign language or who believe that sign language would be helpful in the classroom. And the use of assistive devices. Today, students with hearing disabilities are able to have access to a plethora of assistive devices in the classroom. It's important for the instructor and the school to carefully go over the student's IEP to see what resources they need, as well as accommodate the student with the resources that they need as well. Some of these resources include personal FM system, as pictured below, amplifiers, projection screens, smart boards, closed caption decoders, alert systems that have lights and vibrations, extra table lamps to provide better lighting, and cell phones or other devices to use for texting or typing messages. The following video gives more tips to teachers. Please enjoy top 10 tips for teaching students with hearing loss.
Are you a teacher of a student with hearing loss? Are you about to have one in your classroom? Whatever your situation, here are the top 10 tips for teachers of students with hearing loss. Number 1, be prepared. Be sure to read your student's FIE and IEP. Get to know your student and help them see themselves as a learner. Number 2, be a great communicator. Face the student and have their attention before speaking. Don't shout or exaggerate what you say. Don't cover your mouth and keep that mustache groomed. Make sure the student knows when you're changing topics. Speak to the student, not the interpreter. Number 3, amplification equipment. Use it and test it every day. Check with your special ed director to get one. Number 4, background noise. Air conditioning, chatter, hamster wheel, whatever. Use things like rugs, curtains, or pillows to eliminate or muffle any extra noise. Number 5, pay attention to seating. Make sure your student's better ear is facing you and their classmates. Stand in a well-lit area, not in front of a window or a projector screen. Put chairs in a circle or horseshoe for group discussions and identify who is speaking. Number 6, use visual aids. Incorporate things like posters, charts, objects, and graphic organizers into your lessons. Write all information on the board. If you dim the lights for media, be sure speakers and interpreters are still well lit. Speaking of media, number 7, only use captioned media. Students will miss up to 75% of all material without closed captions. This includes live streamed content. Number 8, slow down. Students cannot take notes, read what's on the board, look at a lab experiment, and lip read at the same time. Give students plenty of time to read, look, and focus before you continue speaking. Number 9, instruction must-dos. Provide outlines of daily lessons and vocabulary ahead of time. Review and check for comprehension. Asking, "Did you hear me?" or "Did you understand me?" isn't good enough. If you don't understand something, ask the student to repeat it. Ask the student if they have any tips for you. Number 10, have great expectations of yourself and of your student. Promote independence and self-advocacy. Expect and encourage them to participate in class. Finally, remember the whole person and not just the ears.